Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Art of Magic. My name is Jamie Salinas. Welcome to our program. In this episode, we're going to revisit one of our favorite topics, and that is, That's a Good One. So what is That's a Good One? Well, stick around and find out. And welcome back. We are talking about today, That's a Good One. In these type of programs, in these episodes of That's a Good One, I'm going to tell you about a product that I purchased with my own money. That's right. This is a non-sponsored program. This is all about something that I bought with my own hard-earned money, and that's something I use in my performances that I really, really like. So I thought I'd pass on that information to you. Again, this is not a product review. This is all about something that I like. And what is on today's episode? Let's just jump right into it. Well, here it is. This is the product we're going to talk about today, and that is the Sven Pad. The Sven Pad made by Brett Berry. This is a fantastic utility that if you don't know about it, well, let me just go ahead and give you a quick little overview. This little pad allows your spectators to flip through the pages. Now here I've got filled in with Jaws. I've got Ghostbusters, of course. I've got The Prestige, Alien, all these different movies that I really like. Wizard of Oz. So there's 50 different movies in all. I basically hand this to my spectator. They're going to open up the book to any page, and they are going to select this one right here. Here we go. Keep it in the light. That is the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. There it is. So no matter where they open it up to, they're going to get that force title of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So it works beautifully. Okay, now show of hands. How many of you, when you saw this product, raise your hand if you thought, I don't need to buy that, I can make my own? Raise your hand. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I actually made some of these myself using some simple pads. But let me tell you why you want to actually go out and spend the money and buy this little beauty, okay? The reason you want to buy it, there's several things. The pads that I bought, they're cheap pads. The paper is really, really thin. So what's going to happen is on your pages that you write, the previous pages, you're going to be able to see the writing bleeding through the backside. And what's there? It's your force page. So they're going to see that over and over. It's not a good thing. Also, the page or the pad is not going to have this nice little spiral, which gives it a nice little innocent feeling to it. The pad you'll have to use is one of the pads that has a gum binder that's actually stuck on. Not to go too much into detail on how this is made, but this does have a gum binding, and it gives the illusion that it is a little loose memo notepad, and it works beautifully, so you can flip through it. Now that's the other thing. If you have a paper cutter, I have a paper cutter. It makes really great cuts. I lined up my pad, I cut my sheets, made one pretty quick. Well, you would think it would come out really good. It came out okay. It works. But let me tell you, for the little amount of money you'll spend on this, that's the retail price right there. The little amount of money you'll spend on this, you don't have to do a thing. It comes working out of the box, buttery smooth. You get to fill in all the information yourself. They come in different sizes. I prefer these. I use these a lot because I like the orientation of it being flipped vertically like this. I also have an 8.5 by 11 notebook and some Post-it notes, little square Post-it notes you can use. There's some really great ideas. Once you buy the product, you can join the Facebook group. If you buy one of these and you join the group, there's a guy named Spidey, really good guy. He has this fantastic idea for how to use a Sven Pad. It's fantastic. So you really want to buy this, join the group. You're going to find all kinds of information, stuff to perform with. Here's a simple item I do. I have a little box, this little cardboard box. I leave it out in the open, and then I introduce the pad. I talk about movies and how I like to broaden my experiences, and I'm a big avid movie goer. So this is sitting out in full view. They pick a movie randomly out of the book, and of course it is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Of course I don't know what it is. They open up the box, and inside this little small cardboard box is another box. I have them open it up and tell them what's inside. And when they look inside, take a look. It's mechanical. It's actually a music box. There's a music box inside. There are no batteries. There's a little winding mechanism. So I asked them to give it a couple of turns and listen. That's right. That's the theme from Harry Potter. Very recognizable tune. And it gets really, really strong reactions. So this is a nice little quick reveal with just carrying a simple notepad, a small little music box, and a little bit of mystery. So you can do this in your kids shows. I recommend about 8 to 10 year olds or a little bit older for your birthday parties, family shows. It goes over extremely well. Even people that have never seen the movie, that song is so recognizable, they know immediately what it is. So anyway, just a quick little idea with this. Now, I'll put a link below in the description on where you can buy these. Now, of course, you can buy these from your favorite magic dealer. A lot of magic dealers have them. But you can also go straight to Barry's website and purchase them directly from him. Now, I do want to say there are some other copies out in the market that you can buy, some other Sven-type forcing pads. I will tell you right up front, the quality is going to be nowhere near on what you're going to get for this little gem from Brett Barry. So I highly recommend you definitely go to the source. He also has some really limited edition pads with some really high-end notepads. So please take a look and see what you think. You can use them for your close-up, walk around, and for your larger shows. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for viewing. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That way you'll know when the next video is going to be coming out. Now, what I like to do is I like to read some of the comments from the previous video from last week. And for those of you who had not seen it, the last week's episode was about your attitude, about having a positive attitude can change really a tough environment, a tough situation. And I gave some examples that just happened to me recently in some performing environments that I actually performed in. So I want to read some of the comments here. Let's see, Steve Haberman, one of my regular commenters, he says, everything you just said is a normal month for me. I do over 300 shows a year, and there are probably nothing I haven't run into. He has a bit of good advice to give. He says he feels it's his job to make the client's event successful. And that's a really good point, Steve. He says, I am prepared for everything. I have 2 different sound systems depending on the size of the room. I have multiple cases that hold kids show, adult, family, magic show, magic. And so I have pretty much solved almost every problem in all different types of performing situations. That's a really good tip, Steve. I myself carry a case with a lot of magic. Last night I performed a walk around job in my car, and actually on my person I had some material just in case if I had to perform a stand-up or a performance for a large group. So being prepared is a great way to being prepared for those tough environments. Stan Runyon writes in, my first gig was a weekly appointment to perform at CC's Pizza Restaurant. Ooh, that's got to be a really tough job, Stan. He said it was a 2-hour event where the manager thought just strolling around would create a traffic problem. So basically what they did was they put Stan in the corner and had him entertain the kids. So Stan learned the hard way about having a lot of repeat customers and dealing with kids who basically just wouldn't flat out leave sitting there in front of him. So thanks for your input, Stan. Scott Wells from the Magic Word podcast writes in, as he walks into a restaurant to perform for a 2 or 3 hours table hopping job, he puts a smile on his face and he tells himself that he's going to be, both him and the audience is going to have a great evening filled with fun memories. So he's putting himself in that positive mindset. That's a really good idea. He also gives us an extra tip that says that when you speak to someone on the phone, to actually put a smile on your face. And that's true. A lot of customer service jobs and training programs tell you that the other person on the other end of the phone can't perceive that smile, and it does kind of fool you into putting yourself in a good mood. So great tip there, Scott. And let's see, finally, my most consistent commenter, Eric Stevens, writes in, I had a bar mitzvah gig a couple of years ago where I was paid to perform walk-around magic while at the same time I was competing with a live DJ, dancing, food service, basketball game, blah, 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 you name it, I understand it. You can imagine how irritating that was. Afterwards, the guy who hired me for the event mentioned how he was disappointed that I didn't handle the kids better and thus couldn't provide me with a testimonial. Though quite miffed, I politely responded by saying that it was not my job to babysit or handle anything. I was hired and paid to perform walk-around magic and amaze those attending the party, both of which I did to great success. So basically, Eric put a little attitude back with the customer, and as you can imagine, it still did not go well. But Eric does say he did realize that whole inner attitude shifted when he remembered that as an average layperson, his knowledge of how a magician works is severely limited. And that's right. I mean, last night I was performing at a prom, and I'm performing in the ballroom, and I've got a big table. Everything's going great. Right in the middle of the routine, a popular song comes on. Half the kids jump up. They look at me and said, "Sorry." And I said, "No, you go have a good time. Get out there on the dance floor." The other kids who didn't dance, I showed them the end of the routine, but I quickly wrapped things up because I knew that was a different situation. So again, thanks for the comments about changing your attitude, having a positive attitude. So this week we're trying to cut it short, getting a little shorten the episode. Last week ran a little long. So thanks again for subscribing, commenting, and please do give me some comments below about if you bought a Sven pad, if you're currently using one, what your thoughts are on it, and I'd like to hear from you. So let me know in the comments below, and we'll read those next week. So speaking of next week, I'll see you in the next episode.